The athletes you are about to see on Phenomenal Elite Wrestling are highly trained professionals who have spent years mastering their craft. Every maneuver, stunt, and performance is executed under strict supervision and with safety precautions in place. We urge all viewers, especially younger audiences, to never attempt to replicate or perform any of the moves seen on this program at home, school, or anywhere else. Stay safe, enjoy the show, and remember, leave the wrestling to the pros.
Ladies and gentlemen, your next match, we have got a very special commentator for this match.
Did I approve this?
And your special guest commentator.
Okay. I see. He's booked himself, has he?
I like it.
You would.
Guest host coming out here.
Perhaps we should get him a little a chair. Shall I go and get one?
Go and get the man a chair.
Well, he'll take my chair.
You want to keep your job?
I do. Got bills to pay.
There you go. Chocolate Thunder, our guest host tonight. What a guest host he's been. He's going to be a guest commentator. He's doing double duty. I think we're going to hear from him again first.
Everybody enjoyed the show? No. I was saving the world. I did say that, and that's why I'm going to be here for the main event. I'm going to make sure that this last man standing match goes the way it should. I acknowledge I've not been here most of the night, but this is where I'm going to be, and I'm going to make sure this goes down right. And I'm going to do a bit of commentating. So, without further ado, are you ready for your main event? I said, are you ready for your main event? Ladies and gentlemen, your next match is a last man standing match. The rules for this match are as follows. There are no pinfalls, there are no submissions, there are no countouts or disqualifications. The only way to win is to incapacitate your opponent to where they cannot stand to their feet before the count of 10. This match is for the PEW World Championship. Introducing first.
Not Alfred Brandon, please. No. Yes, we've got Mike first. Yay! Not bad. Not bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, into the ring, the
Smashing Mike has had an ongoing quarrel, to put it mildly, with Jakk Sellstrom over recent months. He's a former internet champion, former tag team champion, has the chance to become just the second ever Triple Crown winner in PEW history if he can win the big one here this evening. Chocolate Thunder with us, our guest host tonight. Thank you for joining us, good sir. And this is going to be quite the battle for the world title.
I'm looking forward to seeing it, Dave. I mean, pleasure's always to be here, but yeah. I'm here to make sure this goes without a hitch.
How exactly do you think you're going to manage that? What are you looking out for?
I mean, I'm watching the match, mate, so I'm going to make sure there's no shenanigans.
He's been in a weird mood all day today.
Just trying to get some insight.
I'm sorry about
guest host.
So
I think you're much better than the normal guy, by the way. At least you're not in the French Riviera.
Exactly.
Or Skegness, wherever he is.
Seasonal residents.
An increasingly psychotic Jakk Sellstrom was able to maneuver his way back to the top of PEW for a second world title reign at Reckoning at the end of January. Since then, wins over Jason Joshua, Wesley and Serico, and Martin Kirby. It is a who's who of the top talent here in PEW, but as we've seen, as I was referring to a minute ago, Smashing Mike has had more than his fair share of problems, not just with Sellstrom, but with Joseph Connors, with Riley Nova, with Freya Rose, that entire group who've been trying to impose their will here on PEW.
A group built on success at any means necessary.
And it is night and day when it comes to the personalities, the psyches of these two men. Smashing Mike, so beloved by the PEW fans, such a likable man, full of energy, full of enthusiasm. Jakk Sellstrom, just this almost malevolent spirit, this evil force that we see.
I mean, his very nature is ice. Look at him, ice cold stare.
Struggle getting through doors, that's all I'm saying. Getting through doors, and I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, when you're a champion of the caliber of Sellstrom, the doors get held open for you.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes in this match.
By people like you, Dan.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because I show some respect to our champion. Let's see where it gets you.
All right, well, here we go. Last man standing rules in a second.
Here tonight from the sound of things.
And to my right, he is the challenger. Ladies and gentlemen, Smashing Mike!
It's been a long, long while that I think many PEW fans have wanted Smashing Mike to win that world championship. As I said, so popular here, has been throughout almost the entire history of this promotion, but it would be, I think, extra sweet if he could get it done against Jakk Sellstrom, given all the trauma that Sellstrom and his allies have put us through here in PEW in the recent past.
What an opportunity for him, though. This is the moment, isn't it, Dave? This is the moment. And these are two stud athletes. I'm looking forward to seeing this, really am.
They had an incredible match back in November.
Yep.
They know each other very well.
But look, there's always that danger with Sellstrom and his henchmen, if I can call them that there's going to be some kind of underhanded tactics. I guess for Smashing Mike, you may as well eliminate the doubt, right? There's no disqualifications here. You can do what you like. Mike knows what's coming, and he knows that Sellstrom can't try and steal a pinfall.
No.
He can't give, unless Mike chose to give up, which obviously I don't think is very likely. There's not going to be a submission here, and there can't be under the rules. So it's last man standing rules only. You've got to knock your opponent down for a count of 10. Until one of these men cannot answer the count, we will not know who is walking out of Ettington this evening as the PEW World Champion. Here we go. Smashing Mike with the right hands to Jakk Sellstrom.
Sellstrom able to turn it over, but Mike back on the attack.
Already, this one just descending into a brawl. Don't expect this to be any kind of a wrestling match. Mike was already looking for the game over there, that full Nelson slam. Sellstrom going to look for his submission hold. Sub-Zero, he's got it in. The Boston Crab, the Sub-Zero as he calls it.
Mike able to wriggle out of it. Far too fresh, far too much adrenaline to be held down too long.
Sellstrom, a power bomb. But again, you can't go for the pin here. There are no pins.
The only way to win is to incapacitate your opponent to the point that they cannot meet the 10 count, and Danny Marks has started that now. And it's with moves like that hard power bomb driving all the air out of Smashing Mike.
He's on his feet though.
Rolling out of the ring.
That's the quickest way back to your feet. You don't have to climb. You just
use the effort.
Exactly right. You need to conserve as much energy as possible here because this could go a long, long time. It's hard to imagine any scenario where either of these men, while they're still conscious, are going to allow themselves to stay down for a count of 10.
This is what I said. They're both two stud athletes. Like excellent physicality, excellent fitness. This is going to go the distance.
Chocolate Thunder, you've I'm sure been in these kind of matches where there's no disqualification like this, and there is that extra element of danger, obviously, where there are no rules to be broken. You can do whatever you want to your opponent. How do you prepare when you're in that kind of scenario, when you're entering that kind of battlefield?
You can't really compare because it's unpredictable. I mean, anything can happen in these kind of matches. You've just got to steel yourself and just sort of get that iron will to just keep going and just push through the pain and just keep on getting up when you get put down.
Smashing Mike has come here tonight for a fight. He's going to get one.
Send Elsa's granddad home.
A bit more respect, please, on this man.
I didn't
champion.
say it.
I know you didn't, but I'm saying these people here.
That was the other way
you are
around.
responsible for, by the way, as the host of the evening.
Responsible
What's
for
your
what?
problem?
I'm looking for some respect on this champion who deserves.
How about showing a bit of respect for our guest commentator, our guest host tonight?
I mean, the crowd are free to bring whatever signs they want.
Exactly. They pay their money.
Part of the experience, right? Them allowing them to express their opinions about the world champion. Not everyone's going to like the world champion, and that's fine.
By the way, we don't have to give you a microphone, Dan, to express your opinion.
I'm really grateful to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opportunity. I think the people at home would have something to say.
Well, Chocolate Thunder's your boss tonight, so maybe just bear that in mind.
Thank you, Dave.
Here comes a shot from Sellstrom. Chester smashing Mike. Remember, no countouts here either. Danny Marks has had a busy night here on his return to PEW, but his job here is really pretty simple. Just stay out the way, and if one of these guys goes down, start counting to 10.
Exactly that.
Queensbury rules, I believe these are called, Dave.
Sellstrom putting the boot in here. Ooh, smashing Mike. And
this ain't going to be pretty. This is not going to be pretty at all. I think, like you said, there's going to be very little wrestling. It's just going to be an out-for-out brawl.
Now, we know that one part of this alliance that Sellstrom has formed, Joseph Connors, is not here tonight. Riley Nova and Freya Rose are here, but they've been put under restrictions by our guest host here this evening. So Sellstrom going after this match on his own. Sellstrom's so dangerous, so just completely lacking in any basic level of human compassion that the last man standing match really does suit him.
As you say, Dave, it's been on what would we say, a downward trajectory in the mentality of, I don't know, a spiral becoming more psychotic. only means bad news for Smashing Mike.
Not at the moment, he's coming back at him.
Yeah, I was going to say, for a man who you think is receiving some bad news, he doesn't look to be too sad about it. He's on top here at the moment. It's the Smashing one. Here he comes. Smashing Mike with a suplex. Sellstrom, the back of his head just bouncing there, hitting the canvas pretty hard.
Tapes come off. Now they mean business.
Short arm clothesline, nearly took Sellstrom's head off with that one. Mike's not even going to let the referee start the count here. He's going to pick up Sellstrom, I should say. Another one of those short arm clotheslines.
Mike is in incredible shape tonight. You can tell he's been training for this match. Aware of the stakes of the stipulation, of what it means, what kind of different approach you have to bring.
He knows what it is to be a victim to these guys as well, the Smashing Mike, and he absolutely, that is not an experience that he wants to repeat. There are only two ways that tonight can go for him. Either he leaves as a world champion, or he leaves as, once again, someone who has fallen to Jakk Sellstrom, and the latter of those two options is simply not palatable if you're Smashing Mike. Referee's up to a count of 5 here on Jakk Sellstrom. 6 now, just 4 seconds away from Sellstrom losing the world title. Sellstrom's rolling under the bottom rope, and he's going to do what Smashing Mike did earlier.
His feet.
The quickest way back to his feet was to roll to the outside. Mike needs to stay on him here. Shot from Smashing Mike.
There are going to be some welts on those bodies tonight, I'll tell you that much.
Referee just watching on from inside the ring as Smashing Mike takes Jakk Sellstrom on a tour of ringside.
You can feel some of these blows.
We're getting some action tonight, I'll say that much.
See this? We asked this for a long time.
Mike's spending a moment to do a bit of showboating for the camera. I'm not sure. I think you want to stay on the man here.
Jonathan is getting to his feet, trying to keep an eye on what's going on.
Again, you can understand, given the history of Sellstrom and his group, why our guest host here would want an up-close and personal view of the action in this world title match.
Spectre.
Sellstrom with a kick to the chest there. And he's still up.
There's a chain, Dave.
It's legal.
It's all legal. What is that? Is that there's a chain there? There's also a chain. He's got that chain wrapped around his. He's got it in his hand at least, ready to use it as a weapon. That's if Smashing Mike can even answer the count. We're up to a count of 5. And Smashing Mike back to his feet. And there's the chain in use, wrapped around the fist there of the PEW World Champion.
This is a danger of no DQ. You can use anything to your advantage.
Anything, anywhere.
I mean, it's a career shortener, isn't it, for either of these two? To be in a last man standing match where the rules are thrown out of the window. It is the kind of thing that could be incredibly dangerous. This could get out of hand, and it already is very close to doing so.
Some people in the crowd calling for Chocolate Thunder to do something, but there's nothing really that can be done, is there? This is very much within the scope of what this match is. Both men knew what they were signing up for, and it's all about the PEW Championship.
You hear that? The thud on that kick from Jakk Sellstrom. There are some very concerned looking faces on the fans of Smashing Mike all around the ring here in Ettington as Jakk Sellstrom looks like he is well on his way to another retention of that World Championship.
Complete control.
He's kicked it up again now, guys.
Yeah, he's cold as ice is Sellstrom, and the way he is systematically taking apart Smashing Mike. The force behind that body slam.
Mike doesn't want to give up easily. You can see him sort of trying to figure out how to find, I don't know, anything to grasp onto, any bit of adrenaline, but it looks like it's all he can do to even sit up, let alone get back to his feet, but try he will. Smashing Mike does not know how to quit. He will have to be forced down.
The uppercut from Sellstrom trying to do exactly that. Every fiber, I'm sure, in Smashing Mike's body is telling him to stay down with this continuous assault. But there is something in Smashing Mike that refuses to stay down. Sellstrom, listen to this.
Literally beating him to his feet and then beating him back down again. It's going to take a lot to put Mike down now, I'll tell you, say that much.
I called him psychotic earlier, Jakk Sellstrom. You hear him just screaming into the wind there. It looks like he's just trying to uncork the head of Smashing Mike off his body here. It's a wine bottle. Look at him just squeezing at the head. Smashing Mike in danger of passing out. Obviously, referee's count's not going to start while Sellstrom is still attached to him. But right, Sellstrom now thinks he's knocked out Mike, thinks he's choked him out here. Wants the referee to count to 10. Smashing Mike is not moving. Referee's up to 4.
Mike, at this point, if he's going to meet the count, needs to dig down deep and find every ounce of grit, trying to use the ropes to pull him back to a vertical base.
He's up at the count of 8. Just about made it up.
But look at that, Sellstrom right back on the attack. Okay, fine, you want to get back to your feet? Well, here's what's waiting for you. So maybe it will be better for you to stay down.
Again, there will be so much of the human instinct inside Smashing Mike, inside any human being in this situation to want to comply to that, to want to stay down. But Smashing Mike, no ordinary human being. Getting increasingly uncomfortable to watch this though, as Sellstrom is just on top of this one, just dominating it with really no response here from Smashing Mike, other than to get back to his feet time and again. Wait a second though. Just as I say that, here comes a response.
Finding a second wind. They're still feeling the effects, not able to take full advantage.
What a shot that is though from Sellstrom, runs to that temple. Mike, straight back down. Oh, here comes again. Where does he get this from? Smashing Mike, a third wind now. Shoulder thrusts from Smashing Mike. The reserves of energy for Smashing Mike absolutely boundless. Going to send Sellstrom across the ring. The reversal of the Irish whip. And goodness me, you saw how hard Smashing Mike went into the turnbuckle there. I think the ring moved to the side a couple of inches. Such was the ferocity of that impact in the corner.
I think his spine did as well.
Smashing Mike by name. Smashed Mike, more like it by the looks of it.
That was really clever.
Thank you very much.
Just when we're worried about a man's well-being, you decide to put one of your hilarious jokes. Eh?
Not a joke. I'm trying to point out this man, this poor man, needs to know when to stay down. It's not happening right now. You know, he's making a choice every time he gets back to his feet to walk into this.
Powerbomb.
And if he just stayed down for this 10 count, he could fight another day. There'll be another opportunity.
When?
At some point.
The challengers are lining up. You saw someone like Lance Rivera who won earlier tonight. You saw people like H-Hood, Edgar Adams, who got the win over Hood earlier. All of these guys, any of them could want a shot at that title. When is another opportunity like this going to come around?
So is that worth making it so that, okay, you win the championship, but you can't defend it?
Well, we're 2 seconds away from Smashing Mike going back to the back of the queue. Referee up to 9 now. Get up, Mike. Get up, Mike. And he does get up, just. The finest of margins. Oh, God, what a snap suplex from Sellstrom.
Now Sellstrom rolls to the outside. fishing by the looks of things for some... Okay.
There's a steel chair. And again, it's all legal here. Last man standing rules. Sellstrom, despite the fact the referee is up to a count of 6 on Smashing Mike, realizes that Mike's going to beat the count again. He's going to come at him with the chair. Shot right into the ribs, into the abdomen. Going to hit him across the back. Another sickening sound of the impact, this time from the steel chair. Sellstrom holding the chair aloft as if in victory. Is that premature? Or is it a premonition of what's about to come to pass here? He's up to a count of 5. Well, we've seen Mike get up time and time again, but he's barely moving.
He's got
2 seconds to get there.
But look at that, Sellstrom being the one to bring him back to his feet. Okay, you want to get up? Well, here, this is what happens. Another one of those hard power bombs.
Wait, Mike was able to wriggle free. Shoved Sellstrom off to the ropes. Caught him. Dropped him on his spine.
Can he begin to fight back, to claw back some of that momentum, even just to give himself a moment to breathe?
Man, what a shot. Into the jaw of the world champion. And another one from Smashing Mike. Got the feel of a man fighting for his life here. Sellstrom trying to cut him off. There's an uppercut from the champion. Mike though, still got something left in his locker here. Sellstrom turning to the ropes. And then there's a pounce. What a pounce from Smashing Mike.
And now Sellstrom's the one off his feet.
Find his second wind.
And he's also found the steel chair that Sellstrom brought into the ring. This crowd they seem to want a chair to be used.
Well, you know what they say about karma. Might be coming back to bite Jakk Sellstrom. Yes, it is. You brought the chair in, you pay the consequences. Smashing Mike, reveling in his opportunity to get some retribution here over Jakk Sellstrom. And just like he took a shot across the back, now Sellstrom takes one.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword.
But the ultimate retribution would be to take away Jakk Sellstrom's PEW World title.
And now Mike is the one prowling, waiting to see whether Sellstrom can meet this count. And we're halfway there, halfway to a new world champion.
Up to 7. This is as bad as Sellstrom has looked here, I think. He's barely able to get to his feet. Now maybe Mike's going to hit a power bomb. Sellstrom dropping to his knees. I don't know if that was by design or just through exhaustion. Now Sellstrom is resisting. There's a back body drop from the champion. That one seemed to really do some damage as well to Smashing Mike, holding his lower back off of that landing. Uppercut from Sellstrom. Now this one right on the edge here, you feel. Neither man can have much left here.
It really could go either way. A bulldog onto the steel chair.
That could be a game changer. That could be a game changer.
And a ring the bell of the champion.
Is this it for Smashing Mike? The Triple Crown beckons.
Chocolate Thunder on his feet. Ready.
Well, he might be about to oversee a changing in the World Championship.
Exactly what I was thinking, Dave.
8 now on Sellstrom. Sellstrom's got the ropes. Can he pull himself up in the next second? He just referee deems up by
2 feet flat on the mat, Dave. He was back to his feet. But this is what I like to see, Smashing Mike right on the attack.
It's the right decision. Danny Marks calling it correctly. Looking for the Sub-Zero here, though, is Sellstrom. Saw him lock this in very, very briefly right at the start of the match, if you remember. Well, a turn, Smashing Mike onto his front. Remember, though, there's no submission here.
No submission, but Smashing Mike's back has taken a beating in the moment since we saw this submission move attempted right at the start of the match.
Like the last two, these two faced each other. Smashing Mike passed out from this move, so
that's a great point. And if he does it again here, if he doesn't regain consciousness and get to his feet before the count of 10 rather,
it's wrenching.
Look at the angle. Look at the angle of the back. Well, the count can't start till Sellstrom relinquishes the hold. How long is he going to hold it in for?
Both men down, and the count begins.
Well, history repeating itself here. I think Smashing Mike has passed out. Mike absolutely motionless.
Sellstrom already bailing to the outside.
What's
I
he
think
doing
he
here?
thinks it's all academic. He's going to grab his belt and head out. There you go.
Yeah, he's got it.
Smashing Mike has not moved.
This is over. This is over in 3 seconds from now. Sellstrom is celebrating already. Is he right to? Mike is moving now. Mike rolls to the outside to break the count.
Back to his feet just long enough for the count to break, but look at him on the outside.
It's not over, champ. It's not over.
That is genius from Smashing Mike. Just stirring, but just aware enough to know that by rolling out, he's saved his championship prospects.
how much has he got left though? This is the question.
Hey Dan, you were telling him to stay down a minute ago.
That's out of a fear for his own health, but if he's going to commit...
Oh, it's because you're such a humanitarian, right? Mike rolled into the ring here. One thing that Jakk Sellstrom could never be described as is a humanitarian. He's quite the opposite, in fact, especially when his world championship is under threat. As it has been here at the hands of Smashing Mike. That threat might be coming to an end, though. A sidewalk slam from the champion. Referee will start the count again.
Sellstrom looking at the championship, remembering that's what this is all for. That is who he is.
Well, he celebrated prematurely last time. I doubt he'll make that mistake again. He's staring down at his fallen opponent, who is on a count of 7. Look at him talking trash, demanding that Smashing Mike stay down. We're up to 9. And Sellstrom's not gonna wait here. I think Mike was going to beat the count anyway. Uppercut from Sellstrom. He's set up one of those chairs in the middle of the ring. I think he was going to try and drop Mike onto the chair.
Absolutely right.
The Superman punch from Smashing Mike. And both men living precariously here. The shot that was from Mike. Mike, the game over from Smashing Mike. Is that game over for the world title reign of Jakk Sellstrom?
They're both down.
And the count begins.
How much did that take out of Smashing Mike? How much did that take out of Smashing Mike?
Sellstrom, look, I mean, to answer your question, Sellstrom is the first one to stir, able to roll himself on his front, maybe push himself to his feet.
And both men absolutely beaten and battered in this last man standing match for the world title. We're up to 7 here. Now, this could be a double countdown. We're up to 8. Smashing Mike using that chair to get to his feet. Sellstrom kicked the chair away. Sellstrom wasn't going to make it up, but he stopped Mike from getting there.
Absolute genius.
I think that is a double countdown.
None of the man will make it to their feet before Danny Mark's count of 10, which means this match has been declared a draw. Therefore, still your P.E.W World Champion.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Dave, you might not like it, but that is well within the rules. Chocolate Thunder, there's not a lot you can do.
Unfortunately, he's right.
Jakk Sellstrom
There must be
showing
something.
why he has that championship mentality, that championship caliber. Smashing Mike not able to get back to his feet because Jakk Sellstrom kicked the chair out from under him and forced him back to the ground, saving his championship reign. Absolute genius.
Absolute heartbreak, I think is the word you're looking for.
That as well, but that's all part of the game, Dave.
Smashing Mike, if it wasn't for Sellstrom taking defensive measures to cling on to that world title, Smashing Mike right now would be the champion. And but look, there is nothing left of either of these two.
A hard-fought battle between the pair of them. And you would have said any one of them would have deserved to win. But in the end, it was the mentality, it was the championship instincts of the veteran Sellstrom.
Look at you complimenting Sellstrom. Why don't you say something nice about Smashing Mike? Smashing Mike was the one who nearly won.
He did, and he had a fantastic match. He played a blinder, but he's not leaving as the champion. In fact, he's being helped out. He gave all he had, and on this night, it wasn't enough. Maybe now that he's at the back of the queue, he can work his way back, and one day I have every faith that that is a world championship caliber athlete. He's just not tonight.